I have a confession to make this morning. I don't know one Taylor Swift song. I don't follow her. I don't follow any of that horseshit romance around her at the end of the football season with Kansas City Chiefs with her little boyfriend there, Travis Kelce. I don't follow any of that garbage. But there was an article I read the other day that I wanted to comment on because it really shows you, it shines a mirror or a spotlight on what it really takes to be number one in anything that you want to be the world's best at. Michael McLean, brassballsvideos.com. You can download a free copy of my brand new book at the link below. The link is there, brassballsvideos.com. My brand new book is titled 5 Ways to Unfuck Your Life in the Next Month. If you need, like I do from time to time, to get your shit together in the next month, download the book. It's only 22 pages. It's free. There's nothing to buy. You can print it off. You can read it on your phone. I don't care. Brassballsvideos.com. It's the 5 ways I've used to unfuck my life multiple times. Didn't take a year, didn't take 6 months, took 30 days. And the free book link is below. So, Taylor Swift. I don't want to talk about NFL, cupcake boyfriends, or any of the other nonsense. I just want to shine a light today on what winning looks like. I have been a former pro hockey coach, a former championship amateur hockey coach, and now I'm an 8-figure entrepreneur. And I have been blessed my entire life since I was a little kid in the locker rooms with my dad, who's in the Blue Wings Hockey Hall of Fame. I've been around Hall of Fame athletes, mostly hockey players, everybody from Gordie Howe to Mike Ditka to Wendell Clark, Doug Gilmour, Ray Bourque, Guy Lafleur. You just go down the list. I've rubbed shoulders with these guys since I was a little kid, up until right now. And I'll tell you right now that success leaves clues. And when I've had the opportunity to meet a guy like Cal Ripken, or, a guy like John Bon Jovi, or a coach like Jimmy Johnson, or a coach and player like Mike Ditka, these guys, there's just something that the great unwashed have no clue about. They look at a celebrity like a Taylor Swift, and she's easy to tear down, right? I don't know her songs. I don't like her music. But I don't care about any of that stuff because I don't participate in any of that Holly weird stuff. I don't care about celebrity. I don't care about actors. I don't care about politics. I don't care about anti-social media. But when somebody's as successful in their particular area, the world's best, arguably the world's best right now, you have to look at it and you have to make a study of it. Like my dad says, you can learn something from every person you meet on earth. Well, I couldn't learn anything from Donald Trump. What are you? Do you have fucking brain damage? You can learn from somebody, from everybody. You can learn what not to do. You can learn what to do. But every single person, the bum on the street, the millionaire, the billionaire, the school teacher, the minister at the church, we can learn something from every human being. In other words, instead of being critical, be curious. Instead of tearing people down and being judgmental, be curious. Learn what they're good at and how did they become one of the world's best. So with Taylor Swift, I was amazed at this story, but it doesn't surprise me at all. Behind all the glamour, behind all the Barbie doll marketing, behind all the criticism, behind it all is a relentless relentless work ethic. You just don't get to that level with AI or American Idol, paving the way. At the end of the day, you don't become a Patrick Mahomes. You don't become a Tom Brady. You don't become a Michael Jordan. You don't become an Elon Musk. You don't become a Steve Jobs. You don't become an Elvis Presley. You don't become a Muhammad Ali. You don't become, an Albert Einstein by shortcuts, by unicorn magic buttons and magic pills. All top 1% of 1% of 1% champions, they all have an extreme work ethic. And in 2024, everybody likes to talk about all the other stuff, right? Ability and God-given talent and all this other stuff. Wayne Gretzky had God-given talent. Sidney Crosby has God-given talent. Elon Musk has God-given talent. But at the end of the day, these men and women chose to develop the God-given talent. In other words, they didn't do what most people with talent, most people with skill, most people with genius, they just piss it away. They literally are more unsuccessful than most average and ordinary people who don't possess any talent, any special ability, any genius or anything like that. And they end up lazy, entitled, and selfish. But here's a girl who, and just think about this for a second. Compare your work ethic to hers. Instead of tearing her down, instead of being interested in who she's dating or even how much money she makes, look behind the scenes like the late, great Jim Rome did. He always said, private victories precede public victories. And that's what the 99% quiet desperation herd never sees. They see the Super Bowl, they see the Lamborghinis, they see the Oscar Awards, they see the invention, the Thomas Edison invention, they see all the glamour and the spotlight. But what the average and ordinary and mediocre never see is the 20,000 of hours behind it. And, it's to get to that tipping point where you finally start to make the money or you finally break through, whether it's sports, whether it's arts, whether it's music, whether it's your marriage, whether it's fitness. There's just that time to really test a person to see whether they're serious about achieving what they say they want to achieve. It's like almost a test to see if you're going to quit. So here's a person who could retire instantly right now. She doesn't need any of this. But at the heel of the hunt, Swift loves performing. So she's on this 60 city concert tour until the end of the year. And then maybe it's 40, I don't know. And then at the end of the year, she's going to extend it. And these are 3-hour concerts. Like, she is balls to the wall with content. Like, her concerts are nonstop for 3 hours. I'm just going on what I read. I ain't going to one of her concerts. That's a long concert. I've seen all the greats perform. I've seen 2-hour concerts. I've seen 90-minute concerts. I've seen Tony Robbins go for 14 hours a day. I've seen performers at the highest level. But 3 hours is impressive. With costumes, with the non-stop pace, with, the back-to-back shows, 4 nights in a row, 3 nights in a row, almost no breaks, plus the travel. And how did she prepare herself for this 40 to 60 concerts leading up until the new year? She talked about how she has been running on the treadmill in her house, in the garage, running. So she was sprinting, she was jogging, and she was walking for 3 hours, 3 hours a day, 7 days a week, 30 days a month for 6 months straight. She didn't miss. She's like me shooting videos. She doesn't miss. She doesn't make excuses. She doesn't whine. She doesn't complain. She doesn't take weekends off. She 6 months straight, 3 hours a day on the treadmill, sprinting, jogging, and walking. And here's the badass part. She's singing the entire set of songs. 3 hours of songs being sung on the treadmill. And the pace of her on the treadmill, if it's a fast song, she's singing it and sprinting. If it's a medium pace song, she's jogging on the treadmill. And if it's a slow song, she goes to a walk. Could you be on a treadmill just without the singing for 3 hours, running, sprinting, jogging, and walking for 3 hours? Most guys can't put their shoes on and walk for 10 minutes. Oh, Michael, it's too hot out. Oh, Michael, there's bugs. Oh, Michael, I slept in. Oh, Michael, my knees hurt. Oh, Michael, my back. I hurt my back playing high school football 40 years ago. 3 hours a day, 7 days a week for 6 months straight, singing every single song. 40, I don't know how many songs it is. It's 3 hours of songs. Sprinting, jogging, and walking. That's called championship work ethic. That's called championship discipline. That's called championship execution. And like Jim Rome said, that's the private victory before the public victory. Oh my God, she looks so amazing up there. How does she do it? How does she perform for 3 hours and sing and dance and make all these... Doesn't she lose her... Like, doesn't she get tired? Tom Brady doesn't get tired. Michael Jordan never got tired. Steve Jobs never got tired until he got sick. Tired. Fatigue makes tired. It makes cowards of us all. So on top of this, after she's done her 3 hours on the treadmill every day for half a year, singing, she took 3 hours of dance lessons. 3 hours of dance lessons. I guess that was almost every day, or maybe just the weekdays. I didn't get that part clear. But here's one of the greatest performers in the world. Nope, not good enough. I'm going to take hours and hours and hours and hours of dance lessons before my concert. So I'm going to run on the treadmill every day for 3 hours and sing. I'm going to take dance lessons. I'm going to dial in my nutrition. Oh, by the way, lifting weights. All champions lift weights. Football players, hockey players, entrepreneurs, copywriters, singers, artists. She's an athlete. For 3 hours. She's working harder than LeBron James would work in a fucking year. You kidding me? You think he could do that for 3 hours? You think he would put in that time? No chance. No chance. He walks up and down the court pointing fingers at his teammates, at his coaches, and at the trainers and at the referees. So not only that, but she goes to the gym after the treadmill, go to the gym and lift, and then go to dance lessons. And then one last thing, dialed in the nutrition, got her fitness dialed in, got her cardio dialed in. Think she knows those songs after 6 months of singing them under duress? And then the last thing is she broke up with alcohol. Smart chick, broke up with alcohol. She made one exception, she said, at the Oscars or one of those goofy award things. She's like, that's the last time that I drank, and it was one day. So I was like, she's like, I gave myself that gift or something, as if it's a gift. So she also broke up with alcohol. So here you have a person who is in the best shape of her life. There's no question about it if you do that for 6 months. And then she's training with weights. She's got her nutrition dialed in, and she stopped drinking alcohol, and she's taking dance lessons, of course, from the top coaches, the top choreographers in the world. There's no question about that. And then she's ready to go on that tour, and people just sit back and they're just like, wow, insane. So that's called private victories precede public victories. And there's no exceptions to that rule. Health is the number one wealth. If you're not fit, if you can't run like a deer, if you tire out after a few minutes, you just, like Jimmy Johnson said with the Dallas Cowboys, fatigue makes cowards of us all. Vince Lombardi first said that. Fatigue makes cowards of us all. When Lombardi took over the worst ever, the Green Bay Packers back in the olden days, like just a losing culture, right? And they asked Lombardi, they said, what are you going to do? Like, where the hell do you start with this motley crew? And he says, we're going to start by getting in the best shape of our lives. He goes, this is a dictatorship, not a democracy. This is a dictatorship. And it was only a handful of years later until they were winning back-to-back Super Bowls. But Lombardi always said that. He was like, fatigue makes cowards of us all. If we can't be in the best shape, we have no chance to win. Now, if we are in the best physical shape, we have a chance to win every game. And you're going to look across there, and they're going to have frowns on their face, and they're going to be down and frustrated. We're going to have a big smile on our face because we can run like a deer. We're not getting tired. We're not fatiguing. And that's when performing is fun. That's when concerts are fun. That's when business is fun. That's when pickleball is fun. That's when life becomes fun. When you get yourself into such great physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual shape that it's just fun to do things because you're living on easy mode. You've got lots of energy, you're sleeping well, you're not hungover, it's life on easy mode. And like I used to tell our guys, in hockey, I said the practices belong to the coach. The practices were Navy SEALs. It was insane. The games belong to you. And I say, do you know what that means? And they're like, no. I said, okay, hard practices equal what? They had no clue. I said, hard practices equal fun games. That's how you win championships. That's how we won championships. I made practices so deep, dark, so challenging, like a Navy SEALs approach, that there was nothing they could ever come across in a game that was even close to how difficult practice was. So practices belong to the coaches, and games belong to the players. And my guys would show up on game night and they're like, this is fun. This is fun. You know, we don't have to listen to this lunatic anymore. The competition isn't nearly as tough as he was on Wednesday night or Sunday night or whatever. So when practice is hard, games are fun. When you're out walking, when you're reading, when you're writing, when you're eating clean, when you stop drinking, when you put your phone away, all of a sudden the game becomes more fun. The game becomes more fun. And just remember that Taylor Swift story. People just look at all the outside stuff. You need to look inside. I'm fascinated by Michael Jordan's training regimen. I'm fascinated by the way Steve Jobs worked. I'm fascinated by Elon Musk's ability to think. These are the kind of things you need to be taking, these pearls of wisdom from these people. You're not going to take marriage advice from them. You're not going to take raising kids advice from them. But when it comes to something that a person is the best in the world at, then learn from that. Especially somebody like Taylor Swift, who's still doing it and doing it now. And if everybody's tearing somebody down, if the great unwashed arses, the general public, are tearing somebody down, that's a pretty good indication that you should be paying attention to what that person's actually doing that's right. That's my thinking. Do the exact opposite. Okay, that's it for today. Like my dad said, the best is yet to come. Keep in mind you can download a copy of my book. There's a link below, 5 ways to unfuck your life in the next month. Get your shit together in the next 30 days, download the book, put in your email, and I'll email you the book within 5 minutes. You'll have it within 5 minutes. Put in your email, it's all I want. I'm not gonna sell you anything. Put in your email, I'll email you the book within 5 minutes. That's it for today. Time for a swim. Another day here in Paradise City, as Axl Rose would say. Remember what my pop says, my 90-year young dad. He said, son, hang in there. The best is yet to come. 2 words that changed my life, 2 words that'll change yours. Be relentless.